There's nothing better than a tomato that came from your backyard garden. After months of planting, growing, fertilizing, you finally have the reward that you've been waiting for. And because it's taken so long for you to get here, many gardeners feel completely paralyzed on when they need to harvest these tomatoes off of their plants. Today, I'm going to show you exactly when to do it and how to do it, and then what comes next. I'm really excited to also share a few recipes that help me use up these tomatoes so that they don't go to waste. My family of 5 eats tomatoes from my garden on a weekly basis all year long. So let's get into these plants and I'll show you exactly how to pick them. Many gardeners will tell you to wait until the tomato is completely ripened on the vine, but I'm not going to tell you that today. I want to tell you about the breaker stage. The breaker stage is when the tomato is just starting to show its true color. Now, that could be anything from pink to yellow to red. This tomato right here is a carbon tomato, and it's going to be more of a brown or purple color. Carbon tomatoes fall into a black tomato family, and all of them have the same kind of tell when you're looking for when they're ready. Tomatoes that hit this breaker stage and they're just starting to show color are going to have the same flavor and sugars that a fully ripened tomato is going to have on the vine. So my strategy has always been to pick these tomatoes when they just start to turn color, and then I bring them inside to ripen on my counter. This is going to help prevent any cracks or pests getting to the tomato before I can. This strategy has helped me have huge harvests without the devastation of pest damage. You'll notice that this tomato and this tomato are both starting to turn colors, but this one over here is still completely green. You'll also notice that when I press on the tomato that there's just a little bit of a give. It's not super soft, but it's soft enough, whereas this green one, there's absolutely no give at all. When I'm actually harvesting the tomato, you notice that I'm pulling a little bit harder than you would expect. Tomato plants are very, very hardy. They can handle a little tug here and there. If you find the tomato is not easily coming off the vine, then there's always snippers. That is always an option that you can take. This variety here is called Black from Tula, and you'll notice that it has some cracking along the edges, and that's because I didn't get to it in time. I should have harvested this yesterday when I saw that it was starting to change color, but I thought, oh, I'll get to it, and this is exactly what happened. Oh my goodness, look at all of these that are ready, and they just easily come off the vine. Gently place them into the basket, and I try not to layer them on top of each other, especially the big tomatoes. A lot of people think that, oh my gosh, your basket is not full, you could get another layer on top, which I totally understand. But some of these tomatoes are so heavy that they could crush the other tomatoes underneath them. I'm gonna go finish this tomato harvest and I'll check back in with a basket full of tomatoes. Look at all these tomatoes that I harvested today. I'm so excited. Now let's go inside and I'll show you what I do so that they ripen on my counter. And then I'll show you a few recipes that I've been using all throughout the summer to help with this tomato harvest and to help preserve them for the rest of the year. As you saw, I really like to pick tomatoes at the breaker stage when they're just starting to show color. This is one of the tomatoes that I picked today, and you'll notice that it's got a lot of pink going on, but it's still pretty green on the rest of the tomato. This is going to sit on the counter for maybe another day or two. I'm going to give this at least 2 more days because this one looked like this tomato yesterday, and it's almost there. You can see just a little bit of green right here. And this tomato has been on my counter for 2 days, and you can see how fast it turns into the color that it's supposed to be. One of the questions I get every summer is, what do you do with all of those tomatoes? And one of my favorite answers is the first thing I'm going to make for you today, which is Caprese salad. This is my go-to whenever I'm looking for something to show off my big slicing tomatoes. It also allows me to use lots of different colored tomatoes, which is what I've got here. This recipe doesn't involve any real cooking, but rather layering different fresh ingredients so that you get the best food experience possible. Beautiful slices of ripened tomatoes, fresh mozzarella, basil picked just a few steps away, some olive oil, balsamic glaze, and some salt and pepper, and that's it. Simple recipes like this remind me why I love growing my own food. have many different kinds of basil in my garden, but when it comes to something like this, I like to use two different colors because it just adds an extra visual element. I frequently get asked why I grow so many different varieties of tomatoes in my garden, and this plate is the answer right here. Look at all of the colors. This makes me so happy. Fortunately, today's tomato harvest is more than enough for multiple recipes. Let's use a few more tomatoes to make the first thing that disappears at every family gathering, and that is my fresh garden salsa. One of the best things about the summer garden is that sometimes the garden tells you what to eat. Right now for my garden, I have tomatoes, peppers, onions, and garlic, but this lemon came from the grocery store. I do have so many lemons that are growing right now. Some of them are like twice as big as this one, but they're not going to be ripe until another month at least. So I have to go with what I've got, and that's this lemon from my local grocery store. There's really nothing complicated about this recipe at all. I like to add the lemon into the blender first in case any seeds find their way in, and then I can easily take them out. Then I add in tomatoes. I like to have the tomatoes be the star of the show, so I add in more tomatoes than any other ingredient. I don't measure. I taste test at the end and figure out if it needs anything else. Your salsa might be very different than mine, depending on what varieties you use or your ratios, which is why I like this recipe the best because it really is consumer dependent. I also like to use lemons over limes. I find that lemons are sweeter and the limes are a little too harsh for my taste. I could make some spicy salsa with all the hot peppers I have in the garden, but today I'm making this mild. I'm using a full Jew jalapeno that has all of the taste and look of a jalapeno, but none of the spice. Then I add in the onion and garlic and pulse it until it's blended to my liking. For salsa, I really like to use black tomatoes or pineapple tomatoes. Unfortunately for me, I don't have any pineapple tomatoes that are ready just yet, so it's only the black varieties that are going into this salsa. I just find that they have a richer flavor that really brings out the tomatoey part of the salsa, and I think that it makes the best kind. These tomatoes specifically are black from Tula and Black Prince. I always like to double check that these have no spice before I add them to the salsa. So the way that I do that is just like that. No spice at all. It tastes so good. Oh, it's such a pretty color because of the black tomatoes. I love it. That's literally perfect. That's the best bite of salsa I think I've ever had. If you were to ask me what summer tastes like, it would be that right there. That is just so good. I can't wait for you to try it. Now I'm going to use a different type of tomato to finish off this harvest to table video. Next up is my roasted tomato sauce. I only use my paste tomatoes for this, and that's because paste tomatoes tend to be less juicy than my other slicing tomatoes or my cherry tomatoes. I do make cherry tomato sauce, but for this one, I just want to use my paste tomatoes because I think that it has the best flavor and the best consistency. I roast them in the oven with herbs from the garden and some garlic that I harvested in June. Then I put everything into a pot and blend it with my immersion blender. I find that roasting first really brings out the flavors and also allows some of the water to gather on the pan. This means that I'm spending less time by the stove waiting for the sauce to thicken. I'm also going to use some of my dehydrated tomatoes from last year to help thicken up the sauce. When I'm ready to can the sauce, I add a little lemon juice to the bottom of the jar to bring the acidity up for safety. This sauce will last for months on my shelf, and my family will be enjoying my tomatoes well into the winter and next spring. Honestly, this is what it's all about. I would not have it any other way. These are all the things that I made from the produce that came from my garden, and the tomato was definitely the star. I had some extra sauce, so I ended up making some pizza for tonight, and obviously we'll have the caprese salad as well, and probably some chips and salsa. There's something about a tomato harvest that really captures everything we love about gardening. Gardening isn't just about growing vegetables, it's about creating experiences with food that the entire family can enjoy. Today, we harvested these ripe tomatoes, shared a few tips from when to harvest, and turned that harvest into 3 simple recipes that celebrate the incredible flavor of homegrown tomatoes. And if your garden is producing tomatoes right now, I hope this gave you a few ideas for making the most of your harvest. I'd love to know what your favorite way to use garden fresh tomatoes is. Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed today's episode of Harvest Time, please make sure that you're subscribed to Very Good Gardening because there's a lot more where this came from. Until next time on Harvest Time.